All right, so today we back with another video here on the MIG Wealth Academy. So today we doing over a little bit of day trading basics. We're going to get straight to it. I'm going to teach you the basics and the things that's necessary to be a profitable trader. So the first thing we're going to talk about mainly in this video is going to be a top-down analysis. What this is basically drawing up your charts. You want to draw up your charts. So once we know what our charts is, we understand what our support and resistance is and our trend line. Now is to put it in effect and put it on the actual chart. So today I'm going to show you how to do a top-down analysis. So that's looking from the higher time frames to the lower time frame. So that's from the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and seeing what's going on, what the trends may be there, what the resistances may be there, and looking all the way down to the lower time frames. So the reason we draw these up and we identify from the top down is because it's like knowing a story. Somebody tells you a story from one side, you only get one perspective. But now you got a bigger scope when you hear this person's story, hear this person's story. Now you got a bigger picture. So when you look at the higher time frames, it's like stepping back and seeing the whole picture. So we want to step back, see the whole picture, and then look to the lower time frames because they both tell a story and they both work together to tell one story type deal. So with that being said, we look at the higher and the lower time frames and they're going to give us an accurate reading of what's going on. So first things first, we're going to draw. We're going to show you with the top down. We're going to come right here and we're going to draw our trend line. So the first thing we want to do is draw our trend line, right? You go to our daily. We're going to go to our daily and we're going to identify our trends, right? So from our daily right here, I like to draw my trend lines from the daily. So we're going to just delete these real quick, clean these up real quick. Boom. And I'm going to show you, boom, we got our array right here. So we're going to get our array, right? And we're going to start from the top of where this move started, right? So that's going to be a route right here. And we're going to come down and we're going to find about 3 peaks, 3 touches. We want this to touch at least 3 times for it to be an accurate trend line. So right about here would be the first accurate reading for me for this trend line, right? We could make it come down here, but it's kind of a little bit, for me, I like this right here, right? I like to do what I call as like a fan. So that would be the first one right there, boom, right? Then we're going to come again, we're going to take another one, and we're going to go from that point that we stopped at, right around here, and we're gonna come down again, right, and we're gonna come to the top of that. So that's our fan right there. That's on the daily. So now we go down to our 4th hour and we see the story. We see what's going on right here, right? We see about 4 or 5 touches, 6, 7 touches on here, boom, right? So that's doing a top down. So first we started on our daily. So we drew our trend line on our daily, right? And even on our daily, we could come back to our daily and we could draw our support and our resistance, right? So the way I find our support and resistance, they're going to be through our levels, right? So we want to find the lowest wick and we want to find the highest wick. The level for support and resistance is usually going to be within that wick. And we're going to see maybe a few touches in that wick, right? So right here, I'm going to show you an example right here. Boom. We're going to come here. And we got here, boom, right? So this down to this wick. This was the lowest point before it just broke. It just recently broke before this market closed, right? So it just broke, boom, right? So right here, this would be that most recent support, right? And then we would go up to our highest point before that. And this would be our resistance right here, right? So I like to make my resistance red and my support blue. So right here, boom. So we got our trend line. We got our support and our resistance, just like that, boom. Now it makes it real easy and clean. So now what we're doing is just reacting. We're looking for different levels. We're looking for different reactions and what the market does. And we're reacting based off of what the market does. So since it just broke this support level, we want to see when this market opens up, does it come back up, touch here, and then continue down? Or is this going to find the floor and start to go up? What I'm seeing and predicting, if we go to our daily, I'm seeing a push lower, right? Because if we go over here, all the way over here to our left, right, and we look at the daily, we got some support over here for our daily. So I'm going to show you the support I see over here for our daily. We got some support over here for our daily, right? That came here about right here, boom, boom. That's support right there, right? So we're going to use that as our support right there, boom, right? So with that being said, we want to see if this is going to continue down to that second support, which I think is going to come right down to here and give us a nice touch here into this support. After it comes, touches here, and then retest. But we able to do all of this based off of just drawing up our chart, and we did a top-down analysis. So now when we about to enter the trade, we come down to, from our daily, we work to our 4 hour, we see a bearish trend, right? We see a bearish trend going on because it keeps here, not breaking, right? Then we go down to our 30-minute. We see what's going on. We're looking like we trying to get some pullback, but we still bearish, right? Then we go to our 5-minute. We see what's going on. Market just opened up. It shows you the break. Now I'm looking at my 1-minute, right? Okay, cool. What's my 1-minute doing? All right, it opened up high, so I know it's going to have to close this gap. I know it's going to close this gap because it opened up high today. So it's boom, boom, boom. It's going to close this gap, and it's probably going to keep shooting down. Then I use my 15-second for the best entry. So right now, I'm just showing you the top-down analysis. So this was just a quick video. This was just quick, short, and sweet top-down analysis and how to draw it up. We started at daily. We started at weekly or monthly. We can start as high as we want, but from our daily and weekly, I like daily. We drew our trend lines. We identified the trend. We identified the trend was bearish, right? We drew a trend line. Boom, we got more than one touch right there. That's a good trend line. Then we go down to our 4-hour. I like to do our 4-hour next. 4 hours, the next crucial timeline. It's still showing bearish. We got a nice bearish push down here, right? So with that being said, that's good. That's good. Like I said, I want to see a retest over here and then see this keep pushing. But now we have our support and our resistance on our 4-hour. That's what we do. We identify our support and resistance either on our daily or our 4-hour time frame, and that's going to be a strong confirmation. So we want to use these areas as support and resistance. So with that being said, that was a quick little blurb on your top-down analysis. Stay tuned. We got more videos coming soon. Right now, like I said, I'm teaching you the basics. These are going to be the keys to being profitable. I'm going to give you the source, the stuff that I wish I learned and stuff that I wish I knew. But tap in, stay tuned, and make it great.